That wasn't supposed to happen. There it is. Hey folks, welcome back. I'm Mark the 8mm, and what I have for you today is a Berthier model 1916 rifle. In fact, this one's actually started out life as a Chateaulet model of 1890, but it was adapted to the 1892 pattern and finally to the M1916 pattern during World War I. Now the Berthier Carbine really was an answer to the Lebel rifle, which you've seen my review on. It is tube loaded and it's very long, and they tried to convert this into a carbine for cavalry and artillery troops that didn't necessarily need a full-sized rifle, and it resulted in something cumbersome to load and very minimal capacity because of the tube load. So a railroad engineer by the name of Berthier came up with a clip-loaded carbine for the French carbine trials, and it won. It was originally a 3-shot gun, and of course the Lebel rifle proved to be hard for the Indo-Chinese troops to handle, so what they went ahead and did and made a full-size Berthier rifle for the African troops and something a little more mid-length for the Indo-Chinese armies. And by World War I, these guns were thrust right into frontline action. There just weren't enough Lebel rifles to go along and equip everybody. And I always realized that these guns had a few little problems. Firstly, it originally was a 3-shot gun, not good enough for a trench raid, and of course you'd burn your hands on an exposed barrel. So this particular gun was modified either during the war or just post-war for a 5-shot in-block magazine, as well as a nice wooden handguard to prevent the soldiers' hands from being burned. Now the Berthier carbines have a turn-down bolt, an M-block loading system that uses a M-block clip. As you can see from the receiver, this one was converted post-war to the 8mm Lebel ball end cartridge, which was an updated cartridge. And in 1916, they added the 5-round magazine and a trap door that would be forced open, and which no mud can actually get into the magazine. What was found was that originally there was an open area here and mud would get into it and jam up the gun. So this was added after the fact, as was the wooden handguard. Originally the Berthier carbines didn't have one. And what we have is a rear sight graduated to 2,000 meters with a 200-meter battle sight, standard ladder there, 18-inch barrel, and a really thick front sight, which makes it hard shooting at long range. But what we're going to do is that we're going to shoot some 8mm pills out to about 200 yards and see how far we can go. Locks in place like so, and we're ready to go. Yeah, the spring on this one is a little bit weak, so you have to forgive me for that. The second round sometimes does not want to cooperate. And the clip is a little mangled, so ordinarily on the original rifles these would just fall at the bottom of the rifle, but this would actually keep it in until you decided to reload, in which case it would be forced open, like so. The whole M-block clip system was quite nice at the time, but by World War I we really had a lot better options than this as far as a stripper clip fed rifle, and a lot of these were converted to have a box magazine and stripper clip feed for the new 7.5 French round in the 1920s. And these rifles were officially replaced in 1936 by the MAS 36, but they just didn't have enough rifles. But you had over 2 million of these rifles in service, so these stayed around. And a lot of the French soldiers who had to fight in World War II, they were still using rifles that their fathers and grandfathers had to shoot with. I'm not sure if that inspired much confidence, but these guns really have a nice long service history, and they were a very effective trench companion. Let's try a formal group of 100 yards and see what happens. Using our Privy Partisan 8mm Lebel.
for a spin, or you want to shoot this? You have 3 shots and you're like really inside of each other.
Now the recoil isn't bad on this rifle at all, even though it's a nice light 6.5 pound rifle, very lightweight, very handy, but the recoil isn't quite as bad as what some might think it is, even with the full-sized 8mm chamber. A really nice, cool, early personal defense weapon. Pulled that one. 200 yards is quite a ways for these thick sights, I'll tell you that. Hit that. One more. This is the French Berthier.